And Lance, here we are live again once on Get Vocal. It is May 21st, 2020. It's 11 a.m. What's up, Lance?
Well, thank you. Yes. All of the details of the day. It's a gorgeous day outside. I mean,
looks nice.
It is a, you haven't been outside today?
No.
Just pop yourself outside for like a minute.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We're here just to really talk about what's going on tonight on our Get Vocal show, because we are going to be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern in 10 hours. And I think, is that right, Lance? I'm not good at math, but okay.
No, you're right. You're right. Because 12 hours would be 11. So you might just back up 2 more hours and there you got 10.
Okay, perfect. So 9 hours or 10 hours. Is it 10? 10 hours from right now.
Yep.
We will be back here live on Get Vocal with
9 hours and 55 minutes. What's up, Jason? What's up, Jillian? What's up, Elsie? Just kidding. I know your name's not Elsie.
Who we talking to tonight, Lance?
Tonight we have our good friend and co-worker and researcher, Jennifer Amell. She's the independent filmmaker who brought Suitcase Jane Doe to our attention, and she also works with private investigations for the missing, and she gives us a lot of information as far as like research goes with all the cases that come to the organization, private investigations for the missing. Anytime we start an episode for a particular missing person like Dale Williams or Trenny Lynn Gibson, Jen is the first line of info that we get. She reaches out to everybody, puts together a nice PDF, and we go over it. And then she maintains those relationships throughout. So that's how we got someone like Laura Rist involved with Trenny. Right. Yeah, Trenny Gibson's disappearance. That was all through Jen. So we're going to get her on, maybe talk a couple of different missing person cases. But feel free, people, to ask her about Suitcase Jane Doe. There's some behind the scenes stuff that goes on with that, and ask her about her process and everything. She's a really fascinating person.
Yeah, she's great. And we also need to do an intro here for an interview we did on Patreon just recently. So let's bang that out, Lance.
All right, let's do it. Peek behind the curtain. Fuck it.
We'll do it behind the curtain. Yeah, we're doing all these intros live. I mean, why not? Although we didn't do yesterday's or the day before, but we did the Empty Frames one live.
Yeah, we're seat of our pants.
Seat of our pants.
Yep. When people think we're gonna zig, we'll zag.
All right.
I want to. Next time, I'm gonna wear a suit coat just so I can rip it off and say, "Fuck it, we're doing it live."
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh, I'm thinking about getting a haircut. I got my clippers in, Lance. What do you think? Is this?
Do it.
I might do it today and have a whole new do. It's gonna be a whole new Tim tonight on Get Vocal.
Yeah. We'll know how it went if you're wearing a hat or not.
Okay, here's this intro.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Patreon Gossip Show. I'm Tim. What's up, Lance?
What is going on? How are you, Tim?
I'm great. We had an old friend on the Patreon airwaves recently, and we don't usually do intros for this because a lot of the interviews we do are kind of self-explanatory, especially on Patreon. But this one, we speak to a comedian, Lance, so it's kind of way outside of our normal zone.
Yeah, he's a comedian that is pretty well known. He was a runner-up on America's Got Talent in, what year was that?
2014, maybe 2015. I don't know. Yeah, he's been a recurring character on the show.
Okay, but
every year, yeah.
But the real claim
to
meat
and
fame,
potatoes,
is Pan Man. So he made his film debut, tour de force performance in Pan Man. And is that how you met him, or you met him because when you were in LA with and he was Dave's roommate?
So his name is Taylor Williamson.
Yeah.
His name is Taylor Williamson. Taylor Williamson, the comedian. He was on Last Comic Standing. He was on America's Got Talent. He finished second on America's Got Talent. And so I actually met him because he was moving into an apartment that 2 of my friends shared. One of them was moving out. And Taylor moved in with Dave Flanick, who actually does the Crawlspace logo and some of the music for Crawlspace and some of our shows, some of the other logos too. So this comedian, Taylor Williamson, really before he totally blew up on America's Got Talent, it really took his career to another level. He was roommate with my friend Dave, and we got him in Pan Man. He does a cameo in Pan Man, basically just one scene.
It's pretty. His cameo in Pan Man is akin to Alec Baldwin's cameo in Glengarry Glen Ross.
We tried to get him for the classroom scene earlier in the movie, and it would have made a little more sense to see him later as one of the students in the academy, but he was out of town that weekend that we were shooting. So that was a bit of a bummer. But he has one scene in Pan Man. It's a funny scene. So it's Taylor Williamson. Yeah, he's sort of he sort of broke out at a really young age. He was on Craig Ferguson, I think, at like 19 or 20.
I mean, the dude's got talent. There's no question about it. He's a very, very funny guy. And you saw him live in Massachusetts about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I think. And I've seen him live on, I've seen him perform live on like YouTube or something, or I haven't actually gone to one of his shows, but he's funny and he works the crowd. And this interview was interesting to navigate because it's maybe a little bit intimidating to talk to somebody who, they know how funny they are and they know that. And
he's telling us.
Yeah, telling us.
That's kind of his shtick is, he does that on stage. He'll actually calls the audience awkward. He goes out and he's like real like skinny dude. So he like walks out on the stage and he kind of like walks like slow. And he says, I shouldn't give away his joke, but he says like, so my girlfriend, and then the audience just starts laughing because that's like the first thing he says. This is what I think one of the things he used to lead with. Mm-hmm. And then he looks at them. And he's like, why are you laughing? He's like, you guys are awkward for laughing.
It sets the stage right away.
Yeah. But so that's kind of his shtick. Yeah.
Good conversation with him though.
It is.
And some of the, it's like, it was really like being in the ring with somebody, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. So it's like, all right, when I feel like we can talk about something that, we talked a little bit about the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
So it felt normal for a little bit, but with him, it's like, don't ever let yourself feel normal in the conversation. We're talking about the Beach Boys and the movie, I forgot the name again.
Exactly. Love and Mercy.
Love and Mercy.
Yeah.
But then right after that, it's another conversation where it's like, oh, I'm on my heels again.
Yeah, it's a bit rambling. The conversation, we talk about his podcast, Don't Touch My Pod, that he recently sort of relaunched. And he's got a comedy special on Amazon. It's called Please Like Me. And he's got a comedy album too. So follow him on Twitter and all social media. He's at Taylor Comedy, and go to taylorwilliamson.com to find all the stuff, all his work there. He's got some big stuff coming up that the pandemic kind of delayed or, maybe delayed and stuff. So hopefully all that comes to fruition, after this interview. Obviously this interview is going to boost him to a completely new level.
A stratosphere that he's not even aware existed. But
all right, everybody, enjoy the interview with Taylor Williamson.
Great.
And there's a peek behind the curtain.
There you go, Jillian.
And there's right. Dr. Shiloh.
Dr. Shiloh in the house.
Good. What's up? So that's good. We'll pop that up on Patreon today. That's a fun interview.
Good morning, Dr. Shiloh. And make sure people tune in. There's so much going on tonight on the True Crime Thursday on Get Vocal. There's even the podcast was afraid, and Murder Was the Case. You have Jared from even the podcast is afraid, and Lee, Dr. Lee from Murder Was the Case. Those guys are going to be on their Get Vocal show tonight. I think they're at 9:30. I believe.
Let me take a look there.
Yeah, I think that's a 9:30 show. So pop around, join us on Get Vocal at 9 p.m. If you want to go over to their show, check out how much beard is going on over there.
Yeah, they're at 9. Sorry, yeah, they're at 9:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah, 9:30 Eastern for Lee Meller, Murder Was a Case, and he's going to be talking to Jared Ortis from Even the Podcast Is Afraid. Holy crap, Mike Morford just joined us.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Lanta.
join Mike Morford as well on his softcore show tonight. I'm working on a poster for this, but I just can't seem to find the time. I really want to finish it. It's so good.
Wait, he just hopped on and hopped off. What's up? Oh,
No,
there's
he's
Aaron.
back.
What's up, Aaron?
What's up, Aaron?
How you doing? Just popping in to do a quick intro and discuss what we're gonna do tonight. We got Jenna Mel coming back to talk about Suitcase Jane Doe, and hopefully we can convince her to quit her job that she just started.
Yeah, she's going to be a great journalist. She's working as a journalist right now, or she's working for a news organization right now, and then she's planning on taking journalism courses so that she can actually have a degree in journalism.
Yeah,
because right now, what are you laughing at, Mike? Oh, so you're gonna put some pants on? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at too.
Don't bother putting pants on, Mike.
Well, it wouldn't be a soft core show. I mean, why do you think Lance calls it?
Yeah. Why stop the trend? You got a good thing working for you.
So I hope everyone checks out today's episode on Missing Maura Murray. We talk about the disappearance of Trenny Gibson with a really cool lady, Laura Rist, a great blogger from north of the border. Oh, north of the border.
What?
Eh?
There you go. That's amazing. Yeah, she's almost like right before you get up into that like great northern territory of Canada. She's like right at the cusp right there. Maybe a little bit southern. It's kind of dead center in the middle of Canada. But the second she opened her mouth, I was like, this woman's a powerhouse. I love her. She was so good.
She speaks really well and clear and knows the facts of the case. And
where's me pot of gold?
Yeah. I'm up here in Canada.
I need me poutine.
But yeah, wonderful lady and tragic case. And we're going to try to have her back on for next week's episode too. To talk about Trenny again, because we left a little meat on the bone there, Lance.
We left a little meat on the bone. That is not even close to Canada.
Oh my God. Bad accents are my favorite. Yeah.
They're so good. But you're right. We left a little meat on the bone, and it was just because when a question is asked about this case, Laura goes into the explanation, and she's so thorough with it and so riveting. Mm-hmm. An hour goes by, and then we realized we haven't even touched upon the second person of interest in this case, and there's still more to talk about the first person of interest in this case.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we kind of hit on two, I would say, out of the main three. I would call Dunlap like a distant third.
Yeah.
You know, and so we discussed him a little bit, but you're talking about the second suspect, Kelvin. Hold on here. I got it in my notes. Kelvin Bowman.
Yeah, Kelvin Bowman. Yeah.
Yeah, was a guy who tried to break into Trenny's house like a year before she went missing. And he apparently tried to abduct her from her bedroom window. And her mom, Trenny's mom, shot him in the foot.
Shot him right in the foot.
And then he was heard saying like, vowing revenge. So,
which is a really,
sorry. Yeah. It still seems maybe unlikely that it's him. And, you know, this is probably why he's not the first suspect. Like you hear that story and you're like, how is this guy not the number one suspect? But he wasn't apparently on the field trip that day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what Laura has to say about that, because she did say that there's a lot that needs to be said about this. He has an alibi. He was at school. I mean, teachers say that he was at school. Right. What doesn't make it any easier is that this happened in the late 70s, and he was pretty much, I think he was one of the few, or if not the only black student in that school. So that didn't help any perception at the time. So I'm sure Laura's going to get into that as well. A couple of nuggets that we didn't know about this case, you brought up Mr. Dunlap, who was the teacher in charge of the field trip. We knew that he didn't tell anybody where they were going, but until that day, but we didn't realize how much it really affected him. He was a Vietnam veteran, and this disappearance under his watch, this young woman who went missing under his watch, caused him to pretty much spiral and have some issues. And he moved out of the town, and he doesn't talk to anybody about it now. Laura spoke to his ex-wife, and she basically said, yeah, he's not going to talk about it. He's not going to return any calls. But we didn't realize that he had a breakdown because of it.
Yeah, he moved all the way across the country to Oregon.
Yeah.
And really just doesn't want to talk about the case, and was married at the time and is now not. I would have to imagine Trinity's disappearance took a toll on his relationship at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I think it sounds like he had a breakdown. Yeah. So that's rough. You know, I feel bad actually about giving him such shit in that first episode, but it is still infuriating, you know. And we saw some pictures of him, and he's like, he's clearly like the cool science teacher at the high school, you know, who probably never thought, some wacky surprise was going to end up costing someone their life. Right.
And he probably never thought anything would be wrong with surprising the kids about the field trip. He probably thought, this is the horticulture class, right? And they're going out to check all sorts of, it was like a field trip for them to do research and go on a nice hike. And he probably thought it was going to be a nice surprise to announce that the morning of. But shit just went so, like, everything lined up against him. They shouldn't have gone on that trip in the first place because of the weather.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, it's still, I don't have to beat a dead horse here, but it was, just a bad idea to do a surprise destination on that field trip. And he knows it, and so I think that could have definitely changed the whole thing. But we don't have to blame him for it. So I'm sorry, Mr. Dunlap. It is a frustrating story. Partly because of that detail, though.
Well, if you're listening, Mr. Dunlap, open door policy,
and I'm sorry for giving you shit. You don't need to hear it from some sniveling kid on Get Vocal.
Sniveling kid.
That's how I see myself.
We recently it was brought to our attention from well, never mind.
What?
No, I really want to get into the comments that were left on the Facebook for Molly Bish, and just I really might as well just say it. Like, it's brought to our attention that people are out there and they're shitty and they make shitty comments about a missing girl. I mean, a murdered girl and the family. And if that happens and and your identity's there and you're making shitty comments, that's going to the law enforcement. So sorry, dude.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, don't write shitty comments about a family of a missing or a murdered loved one. They did a lot of great things. I don't even know what the guy's talking about. Like, he actually lives in the area where Molly went missing and was found. So I don't know what the hell the guy's talking about. It's infuriating though.
Yeah. You know what that tells me, and I could be a bit of an alarmist here, but what immediately goes off in my head is this guy might know something, and he's been making shitty comments for years, and it was just overlooked and no one really did anything about it. And he feels like he can get away with it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know.
Probably
not. Who knows? But
probably. Yeah. He's having some sort of reaction for sure. Wonder why. That says Dr. Shiloh.
And Dr. Shiloh added an ellipsis there, which makes me think she's indicating something else.
Well, yeah, I don't know why the reaction would be negative towards the family. She came on the show to talk about her sister's case. Like, her and her family have worked like rock stars, like to try to get justice in Molly's case. I don't know what criticism someone could really give.
I don't know. I think maybe some people will look at this being one of the most expensive searches in Massachusetts, and they might actually go towards it makes me sick to think of it. They might actually be those types of people that are like, this is what my tax dollars are paying for. God, I hope not. But I can't think of any other reason someone would be a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Well, unless they're just mentally ill.
Right. Well, maybe they'll get a knock on their door. He was upset that they let. Oh, that's right. Jillian says he was upset that the town let her have the job. She was 16 and was a lifeguard at a pond. That is not a good point. I know where I grew up, Medford, there's something called Park League, which they have kids around that age working with kids in the summer. That's exactly that job. Yeah. The town and her parents, Jillian said he was upset with letting her parents for letting her have that job too. Again, that's what you do. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, not like there was a giant wave of 16 and 17-year-old girls who were lifeguards that were being abducted and murdered. You know, it wasn't like that was going on at the time, and the town and the parents were like, yeah, that won't happen to her. Like, this is a small town where nothing happens like this. Yeah. There was no reason to think that. What kind of parent would say, no, you're not going to get that job? I can't think about what would you like? How protective of your child do you have to be? You're stunting your child if you're telling them at 16, like, no, sorry, you're not going to go and, physically train to be a lifeguard and mentally equip yourself to maybe save someone's life someday. Like, no, just stay in your room. Bullshit. Asshole. Yeah. Fired up. Yeah. Anything else you want to vent about? Let's see. No, I think I'm good. Good. I got a plumber downstairs. He's changing the pipe out. Yep. Oh, cool. Yep. Did the ghost affect that pipe? I'm assuming. Oh, you know what? Speaking of the ghost, so many things happen. No, just time affected the pipe. Yeah. So we control time. On a different frequency plane. We opened the door to take Eric out yesterday, and maybe tonight I'll bring it up, like the physical thing. There was this little like toy hedgehog right at our doorstep. Now, in order to get up to that door, you have to walk up the driveway, and we have this small, white gate before it goes into. God, it made the place sound really ostentatious, if that's the right word. It's just a little gate. So you'd have to go through this threshold, and then you'd have to walk up almost to the garage and know that there's a door there to like place this toy there. But it was this toy, this like dog toy, a little hedgehog. And we took a picture of it, and I sent it to our neighbors, and because they have 2 dogs, and I thought maybe one of their kids or something might have thrown it over, or maybe their dog like lost it or something. And she wrote back and she was like, nope, not ours. I'm like, that's weird. So it was placed there, like right side up? On its back. You can't really put it right. Yeah, you can't really put it right side up. It'll tumble over. Oh, look, Christina Bazonsky's in the chat room as well as Liz. What's up, Jillian, Aaron, and Dr. Shiloh? Fun. So you think the ghost put it there? Well, I don't know. We're thinking maybe another dog, because sometimes people will walk their dogs off leash. And how heavy is it? It's perfect for Eric. Okay. So he probably brought it there, you think? What? You think he brought it there? Eric? Yeah. Oh, no, this is not. Oh, no. This was not there prior. We had something that was left on the doorstep that my girlfriend had picked up maybe 15 minutes before we took Eric out for a walk. And when we opened the door, we're like, what is that? Yeah. So there's only like a 15-minute window in which that could have happened? Yes. Wow. 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we're really getting there with this. Yeah. And Eric picked it right up, and we went on the walk. He carried it in his mouth the entire walk. So it was a dog toy? Oh yeah. It's his toy now. So I'm thinking maybe one of his friends in town was like, hey, I'm going to go give the new guy this toy. Okay. Yeah. No reason to think it's anything more menacing than that. Well, I don't know. Could have been manifested by something. Time will tell. Time will tell. Well, today, Lance, speaking of time, 2 hours from now, we're going to be hopping on the turbo ride, aren't we? Oh, yeah. We're going to get on the turbo train. for Empty Frames episode, season 3, episode 2.
Yeah, Turbo Train with a fast track to the Gardner Museum, the fast track to recovery. I can't wait. He's so funny. He was sending Twitter DMs thinking that he was DMing you and I, and he kept writing like both of our names in it. and
he's a little under the weather.
He was really sick late the past couple of days, but he promised that he would be in tip top and ship. What is it?
Ship shape
and Bristol fashion.
Bristol fashion. Wow.
I think that's a British thing. Christina says, where are the Gossip Card t-shirts? For you to purchase or for us to be wearing? Wearing.
All right, cool.
Mine's folded in my drawer. It's nice and clean, so that'll be later tonight.
Let's see. I just got a call from Greg Overacker, so maybe we can call him back off air. Some great developments in the Erica Franelich case that I want to hear about.
Yeah, kind of mind-blowing. All right, cool. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking in, and we will see you at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight.
With our Gossip Pod t-shirts on. Or not.
Get yours at Zaz.